What is up, Aaron Bewley here. I'm at day one of VMworld Barcelona. It's a tech conference here for those of y'all that don't know it. But today I'm going to specifically talk about getting involved in communities, how it can advance your career and change your life. Check this out. All right, just finished 2 quick customer meetings in here and about to head over to the VMware user group meeting where we will talk about how community involvement can help change your life, help change your career, et cetera, et cetera. One of the crazy things that we just heard in this customer meeting was that the customer that's using our product had a process that was taking them 5 hours and 40 minutes to go through, moved to our product, VxRail, and it dropped it to 40 minutes. They couldn't believe it. They actually thought the process didn't run, so they ran it a couple times to ensure, which is great. The first meeting was a customer that has a little bit of our stuff, a little bit of VxRail, and the rest of their data center is kind of legacy technology, and they're looking at replacing all of that with VxRail. So super excited about that. Let's go talk to some people at the VMUG.
But please help me thank the expert panel.
I'm over at the VMUG now, and I'm here with Amit. Amit, what's your name and what do you do? Or I guess your full name.
Yeah. So I'm Amit Patel. I work out the UK, as you can tell by the accent, and I work for Dell EMC as a pre-sales SE. And outside that, I have a lot of interest in IT and tech. So I'm a big community advocate, passionate about all things tech, all things modern, and I just love technology, so it's a natural fit working where I do today.
Awesome. So what would you consider your communities to be?
All the Slack groups, the expert groups, which are really like phenomenal knowledge sharing groups, the Twitter community, social media. It's changed like in 6-7 years. I've seen a massive ramp up in social media, and it is undoubtedly the quickest way to reach someone.
Absolutely.
So much so that I can get a lot of interaction and a lot of decisions made by people that I know as friends and people within the organization that I work for, where they'll just reach out to me and they'll ask me a question or I'll ask them a question.
Yeah,
so
and that's actually how you and I met.
Yeah, exactly that.
On Twitter,
exactly that, yeah.
That's right.
So Twitter and then LinkedIn is obviously kind of another backstop, which is very professional centric.
Yeah.
But it's just the power of all these social media tools now, engaging with people. Being part of the expert kind of journey over the last 5 years, I think that's really opened the doors when it comes to community for me. Yeah.
So how did getting plugged into these things change your career? What were you doing in your career, and some sort of catalyst in one of these community events changed what you were doing?
Yeah, so for me, I was a customer and I was generally doing things customers do, data center work, managing teams, that kind of thing. But I heard about this VMUG thing, and I heard about VExpert, and I was thinking, why should I do it? Like, how's it going to improve me?
Yeah.
Is it going to give me something in many years, or is it going to be a quick bang for your buck, kind of like in a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
But I just thought, let me go along to a local VMUG. I kind of started talking to people, and they said, you know what, you could create a blog, share knowledge, that kind of thing. And I thought, okay, I'll try that. And I only tried it like back in 2012, and it just kept spiraling after there. It was just like, let me try it out. And then your name gets recognized in places, and people come up to you and say, oh, have I seen you talk about this? Or I read your post on this.
Yeah.
And I was just passionate about technology, so I thought, why not share that with everyone else?
Yeah.
So that was it for me.
Fantastic, man.
And it changed me from customer and then a blogger and then to a vendor eventually. So that's been my career path today.
Through all your connections, right? It's just advancing you through your life and your career.
Exactly.
And making connections and friends along the way.
Yeah, and to your point about communities and bridging the gap and having those interactions, I will get messages from customers potentially on LinkedIn, right? And they don't know me.
Yeah.
They just see I work for a vendor, Dell EMC. Can I ask you a question or something? So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they may not know who to turn to, but when they see someone with a brand, they will just reach out to someone. And that is, for me, a really good tick in the box, you know, to get that kind of interaction with someone that's a stranger.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amit, thanks so much, man.
No worries.
We'll get back in
Thanks,
there.
Aaron.
Appreciate
Cheers.
you. Help us understand what you do and how people can get in touch with you, and then let's talk through how your career has grown because of these communities that you've been involved in.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Brian Graf. I'm at brianjgraf.com. You can find me on Twitter at vbriangraf, and I'm pretty active there. So if you guys ever want to reach out to me, I'm happy to do that.
And I'll put all these links, the hyperlinks will be in the description below. So
Awesome. Yeah. So I work for VMware, doing VMware Cloud on AWS. I guess the easiest way to describe what I do is technology evangelism. We do a lot of the PowerPoint decks that you see around VMware Cloud on AWS, the product and services and how they interact with one another. And I present at conferences like these, VMUGs, and go around helping our customers figure out how to use the solutions.
So how would you simplify what VMC on AWS is to somebody who doesn't necessarily understand technology?
Sure. So that's
I know
a
you're
really
about to
hard
talk
question.
about that for an
Yeah.
hour. In like 6 words or less.
Yes. Simplify, automate, integrate.
Okay.
That was 3 words. How was that?
Okay, perfect. I like it. Okay. For workloads
Yes.
that are on other people's systems.
I mean, the easiest way to talk about it is anyone that has a server of any sort, being able to put that somewhere where they don't have to worry about managing it, and then being able to integrate with other services that other companies provide.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. Okay. So as far as communities go, when I think about the communities I'm involved in, I think about the tech community on Twitter, think about some of the Slack groups I'm involved in, and various things like that. Obviously, these user groups are big for me. Is it the same sort of thing for you, or any differences there?
No, I think that's a major part of it. I try to, at conferences as well, actually get in with the community members in those areas. So for example, like right now, we're here for VMworld Barcelona, and I was asked if I could come present at the VMUG for Barcelona.
Yeah.
And so being able to come in early for that, talk with the members and the users, and just kind of see where they're at. One of the things I like to do, and I haven't ever really talked about it much, is I try and mentor about 1 or 2 people a year. So
Awesome.
people I see that are starting out in the industry, I try and help them kind of get going and get on their feet.
Yeah, very, very important as far as getting involved with the community, not only to help yourself, right, and be connected and to challenge yourself, but to bring someone alongside you as well.
Yep.
So, yeah. Very cool. Okay, good. So from a career perspective, were there any like pivotal moments where you were doing this and then you like started your Twitter game and then you found people from that perspective, connected with new people, and they say, hey, you should come work for us?
Yeah, actually, that's almost exactly what happened.
Okay.
So I was working for EMC Consulting. I was
Okay.
doing some virtualization. I had just gotten into that about a year and a half before. I'd been doing a little bit in Hyper-V, but had jumped over to VMware about a year and a half before all this started happening. And then I started blogging just because I was like, this is kind of fun. I'm learning all this stuff on my own. So I put that up. I wasn't really active on Twitter, but I'd started going to the VMUGs locally in Utah. And then I went to one UserCon, and the speaker was really great, and I really liked his stuff.
Who was it?
Yeah, it was Kyle Gleed.
Okay.
He was in tech marketing for Core vSphere, so it was like a vSphere upgrade that I went to. It was like from 4.1 to 5, I think. And in the afternoon, I ended up going to another session, and it was the same guy. And he did great. He just knocked it out of the park, and it was about like update manager,
Okay.
I guess. And I went up and I guess that was probably the pivotal point for me, is I actually went up and talked to him afterwards.
Yeah.
And some VMUG members do that with us, and a lot don't. But I went up and I was like, what exactly do you do? And he's like, oh, well, we present at these conferences, we do white papers, we blog, we use social media. And I was like, I'm like going through, I'm like, okay, I do all these things on the side, and I'm like, you get paid for that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yes, that's exactly what we do. And so half joking, half serious, I was like, you wouldn't happen to have any open roles in your team? And he's like, actually, we do. And so from there, because I opened my mouth, because I went to a conference, and then I went up afterwards and talked about it and kind of put in my part there, I was able to start having those domino pieces fall into place, and eventually I ended up getting a job at VMware because of that.
That's awesome, man. Awesome, and probably one of the best things that's happened in your career. I would
is,
bet. Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Brian, thank you so much. I know you have a little speech you got to go give, so thank you for your time, man.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. All right, and next up we have Gina. Gina, what is your name? How do we get in touch with you? What are the communities that you're involved in, that you're passionate about?
Okay. My name is Gina Rosenthal. I'll say Gina Minks. It's a long story of why you should never change your name for any reason. You can find me at ginaminks.com. My Twitter is gminks. And I'm passionate about just people. So I've been on Twitter since it began.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much wherever somebody is most comfortable communicating is where I tend to gravitate to. I do an inordinate amount of business on Twitter and DMs.
Yeah.
It's a little bit crazy, but also WhatsApp, Slack, however,
Okay.
email, how everybody wants to communicate is kind of how it is, and it tends to be groups of people. So
It's nice of you to say it that way. However they want to communicate, I'll go do that.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you just miss people because I think everybody's so busy. I know I am. Sometimes, especially around events like this, when you're trying to collaborate and communicate, it gets a little rough, but then you're able to connect with more people. So it's just that, it's the work of communicating. I think most of my work anyway is communicating, and if you can find a way to connect and keep that connection flowing.
Exactly. Have
going.
touch points as often as you can, however you can, and that's one of the great things about these types of conferences is to get together and see each other and share stories and face to face, right? So very valuable. Cool.
It's that connection.
Yeah, awesome. So, are there any like pivotal moments in your career where you felt like being involved in a community has helped propel you, or changed your mind about things, or?
Well, yeah. So.
Or is that every day?
Well, no. So I was at EMC. I had spent like 4 years as a sysadmin. Went to EMC and I was a technical training developer. So I was responsible for the SAM classes at one time. And when they went on that big software buying spree, I owned one of those products. I owned Voyance, all the training for Voyance, which was a network configuration and compliance product. At the same time, I got on Twitter and I was one of EMC's first bloggers.
Okay.
So it was very, very early days, and people like me and Mark Brown, who he actually ran the support community. My organization was Ed Services. Mark Brown ran the EMC Elect.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So
how do I know him? It was the last year of EMC Elect. I was in that. Okay.
So he ran support, the community for support. I ran the community for Ed Services for proven professionals, which has a huge number of proven professionals. And they were like, make a community out of it, but you can't do it as a full-time job because we're really not sure if this is going to be a thing or not. So you're going to still develop training. So I did that, was doing both at the same time, and Jennifer Meyer, who runs product marketing now for NetApp, was at Dell, said, hey, do you want to come? We're buying up storage companies, and we want to knit them together in one storage community. You want to come do that for us? And I was like, yes, I do. So they moved me from Boston down to Austin, and I started working for Dell, and that's kind of where all of my stuff started. So very, very early days of social media, and is this really a thing? Is there any business value in it? At a very integral part of Dell's development.
That's awesome. Okay, so you said something in there too that got me thinking, not only about joining communities that you find and really jive with, but maybe if you see a need or there isn't a community already for something that's there, do you have any advice for people that want to create a new community?
Yeah, just do it. I mean, that's the thing.
Just do it and
do
rally
it
people.
And rally people up, because I am constantly amazed by that. And I think this goes back to everyone being so busy. People are busy. If it's something you really want to start a community around, just do it. And somebody else is going to come and support you. You're going to have to do a lot of legwork in the front to nag people and coerce them into being part of what you're doing. But if you're interested in something brand new, it's a really good way to go. If you're interested in just, one of my other passions is, why are we repeating cycles over and over again? There are people around us that know storage from 30 years ago. We've got people that are brand new that have all these really great questions on the new stuff that relates back to the old stuff. So why don't we tie it all together?
Edit this out.
Edit it out. Okay. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying?
I don't know.
But so bringing these communities together,
just do it.
Rallying people around to help.
It's
just be vocal about it and encourage people.
Be vocal, find one place to communicate, and just pick a platform, whichever platform you like or wherever you think everybody else is. Have regular cadence where you're communicating. Go find a couple of people who are just as passionate as you. Maybe they just don't have the spare cycles. Recruit them to be in it with you, and see where it goes from there.
Awesome.
At the very least, you'll connect with people that have something, that are very interested in the same thing you're interested in, and you'll learn something from those people. Maybe it turns into something else, and that's awesome too.
That's what I seem to find too. Just I don't know, the leaps and bounds that you can take by bringing in new people who have different vision, and it ends up creating a new platform or a new future that you didn't even think was possible.
Right.
All kind of growing out of these communities. So.
Yeah, so I'm a product marketer. That's my role that I have now, and that's our role is pretty much creating messaging and launching products and getting all the core content available for when we launch the product. And sometimes we get locked if we just do that because it's so much work and it's such a grind to get that done as a product is launching, especially. We don't talk to people. We go talk to people. Especially customers that use our products, because our customers, no matter what our technology products are, they're the ones that actually know how they work better than anybody because they're stitching them together to support their organizations. They have such great stories and they just want people to hear them. And sometimes you'll find someone, this has been something I've been lucky enough to watch, you'll find someone who is so good at what they do and so articulate, like, you got to start a blog.
Yes.
You got to talk to people.
Put that out there. Put it out there.
Work out loud. Do your work out loud because
I like that phrase better.
This is amazing because you're doing this stuff and you're documenting it. Someone else is going to find that. They're going to add to it. That's really, I'm more about the learning process of all this.
I love that. Work out loud.
Yeah, work out loud.
That's awesome. Okay. Gina, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. See ya.